and welcome. Today I am joined by Mark Singer, who is one of our wonderful coaching clients, and he's going to talk us through his experience inside C2C over the last 5 months. Have you been in 5 months? Yeah, it's about that for sure. We've been working together for 5 months, and since you came into C2C, over the last few weeks especially, you've seen some pretty amazing results, which is great. But ignoring business for a second as it is now, can you talk me through what was life like before you joined C2C? What did you feel like, and what state of mind were you in?
Frustrated. I mean, I'd been doing a lot of work online and stuff to build my business. I mean, I've been running my business for nearly 7 years, but majority of the work that I was getting was through referrals and word of mouth. And I just felt that no matter what I did online, my message wasn't getting across to people, and people weren't really understanding the work that I was doing. I had a lot of people assuming that they knew, but not really that many actually did know. And it was generally just through word of mouth, people who had already been worked with me, that I was getting new clients. So that was the place where I was at. I was struggling a bit to get a consistent flow of clients or leads and people to talk to and things like that. So it was like, where does the next client come from? And I was just tired of waiting for people to get in touch with me rather than finding them myself, really.
No, amazing. No, that's great. That's great context to have. So just tell us a little bit about how you serve clients, the clients you work with, and what you help them work through. That'd be really helpful just for anyone watching.
Yeah, no, I'm very different from a lot of coaches out there in the way I work. I take clients through a process. It's a 6-month process, which I'll come to in a minute, which is not dissimilar to your own. In terms of the way I work, it's a very hands-on process in terms of the way I see clients or speak to clients pretty much every day, rather than just have the standard once a week session where I speak to a client and that's it. So I take them through a methodology which is called energy leadership. Now that's what changed my life, and it's a very holistic process where we're learning to raise our energy, raise our awareness, and start becoming more understanding of why we are the way we are, and ultimately changing or reframing any unhelpful patterns, habits, beliefs, and so on that are getting in the way of us being who we truly want to be. And so it's a very hands-on, full-on process, but it's life-changing.
Yeah, it sounds really inspirational.
Hence why I got the referrals, but not so many people understanding it online.
Oh, amazing. So what made you take the leap and join?
I'll be honest with you, I was talking to Adi House, and it was through Adi, and I was in a bit of a position where I was thinking I need to do something, and at first I had no idea what, and it was in terms of the technological side of things, I wanted to have some support because that's not my forte really. Right. So we just sort of crossed paths, Adi and I, probably through the work he'd been doing with you. And we got chatting and we spoke. We got on really well. And then he referred me and he said, look, you want to get in touch with Chris and have a chat with Chris because I think he's going to help you more than I can probably help you. And so that's how I came to ended up talking to Chris in the first place. And we ended up having a chat. And from there, the rest is history.
He worked his magic on you.
Yeah. It didn't take long, to be fair.
Yeah. Happens to us all, honestly. So had you tried high ticket programs like C2C before? Was this your first kind of experience of something working with somebody like Chris?
Not to this level. I mean, I've had coaches and things like that before, but not in terms of this process that we're part of now. So I've never joined something that's as full on and as like covered as this is. So this was my first real proper full-time high ticket sort of investment, really.
Oh no, that's great. And what were you most concerned about or worried about when you signed up? There must have been things going through your mind about, oh, gosh, it won't work for me, or whatever.
Yeah, I suppose whether I'd fit in. I suppose because I'm very different in terms of the way I approach things and people, and so I'm quite unique in the way I post and stuff like that. So I'm quite off the wall, and that can obviously cause people a bit of shock at first, but obviously when you get to know me, you realise that that's just my style. But it's also what helps me stand out. And so this is one of the key reasons why I wanted to come to C2C, is because I wanted to stand out. And so there wasn't any fears as such. I would say the only Well, I sort of believed it would work because I wouldn't have committed if I didn't think that.
Mm.
But I suppose it was more the technological side of it. Would I be able to buy into that? Would I be able to implement that stuff? That sort of thing. So I was a bit, you know, not sure about that sort of side of it because it's not my thing. But yeah, it's been a lot easier than I thought it would be in terms of that area.
Oh, good. I'm pleased
Yeah.
to hear it. Pleased to hear it. Okay, so obviously we like to think that our approach is different and our model is a bit different to most of the programs on the market. But what was it when you were speaking to Chris? Was there something specific that made you go with us? Was it he has this way with words, doesn't he? He's really good at kind of getting to the nail, like hitting the nail on the head, I think the phrase is, with what it is that you need. Was there
Do you know?
anything specific in your conversation that you remember?
Well, do you know what? My whole ethos is about energy. It's about tuning into yourself and understanding why we are the way we are. That's what I do with my clients.
Yeah.
And I'm a firm believer that you go with your gut, your instinct. And it was exactly that what led me to sort of talk to AD Howes in the first place.
Yeah.
And it was exactly that led me to sign up with Chris on the first call.
Yeah.
Instinct. I don't sit there and overthink it because this is the thing that we end up talking ourselves out, some procrastinating, well, it's not going to work. But when you are in the moment and you tune into your instinct, you know the answer straight away, whether it's the right thing for you or not. You don't have to sit there and overthink it. So I went purely on instinct. I had no intention whatsoever of signing up on that first call. I wasn't going to do it. But then obviously I spoke to him and I just thought this is the right thing, go for it. And to be honest with you, when I learned the methodology that I now teach, that was exactly the same. It was back in 2018. I vested, I think, £12,000. So you're talking about high ticket. That was high ticket. £12,000 into that process to learn what I now teach. And that was on an instinct too. And it changed my life. So it was very much similar to that in this sense, in that it was like I was in the same position I was back then when I learned that methodology. I thought, well, this is how I felt then, and I went for this then, and in a similar way, it's changed my business and my life too. So yeah,
amazing. No, that's great to hear. I'm really pleased that you followed your instinct and went with it. Yeah. Now you're seeing the results. It's so exciting. So, what stages have you gone through in terms of your mentality? What's been your biggest mindset shift since joining the program?
Good question. I suppose the confidence in terms of delivering not so much in terms of the clients, because I was always confident with that, but I suppose in terms of delivering, in terms of sales, in terms of the sales process, should I say, because this is where I struggled before in terms of how I presented my offer to people, because I didn't have a clue how to present it before. I didn't know how if I was talking to someone in the street and they asked me what I'd do, they would go away and, they wouldn't really know because I wouldn't present it in the right way. I'd say, well, I help people with this or that, but I wouldn't really know how to talk them through it. And it would frustrate me because I would also go, well, I didn't do myself justice. And obviously that person's not going to understand what I do and so on. So I had a real frustration about how to talk to people. And so obviously when I was talking to people online, it became just a conversation and it wasn't really me putting across what I needed to put across. And so I think the confidence in developing the way I actually speak about my offer is the main shift for me. Now, I mean, it wasn't linear, in terms of the start, I was making lots of mistakes and I still probably will make lots of mistakes. But now when I'm talking to people on calls or I've got a sales call straight after this and, I just feel I don't have to overthink it anymore. I don't feel that I need to sort of follow a script or read anything. I can just go with the flow and just speak about it without worrying about saying the wrong thing or whatever. And that's the confidence side of it. So I think that's the main shift for me energetically in terms of that, is I've developed the confidence to sell what I do now.
I love that. And we all tie ourselves in knots, don't we, about sales calls and how we should say things and what we should say. But I love that now you can just do it without having to worry about that stuff, because I know so many business owners really struggle with that whole dynamic of that conversation. So that's great. That's a really good development on your part. So I want to get to the good stuff now. I want to ask how your business has changed since joining the program. I think it's fair to say it's been Like, it's not been plain sailing. Like, people come in
No,
and
it's been bloody
people
hard.
think that you come in and it's all amazing, and it's not. It's hard work. Yeah, talk me through how your business has changed over the
Well,
last
like I said to you before, there's parallels between the work that I do, because again, like you just said there, people come into these processes, whether it's working with me or working with you, expecting change to be instant, and it doesn't happen like that way. You've got to firstly learn what to do, and then you've got to implement that stuff and put it into practice consistently. That's when you start seeing the results. And so whether that's me teaching someone how to use their mind and, reprogram their belief system, it's the same with what you've been teaching me. The first couple of months was all about me focusing on learning and finding out about, obviously doing my master offer, getting clear on, how to build traction and, get more calls and more people in my inbox and things like that. That was the first part of it. And yes, at that stage, I wasn't making any, sales. I was lucky that I had clients that I'd signed up previously. So I still was working with clients, but not enough new ones or any new ones at that stage coming through the door. So it was a case of just being aware that, yes, this is not going to happen overnight. It takes work. And so in terms of the way I work, in terms of myself, I'm quite a highly energized guy generally, because that's my work. So I thought, well, you've got to keep focused on keeping consistent in that area, but also doing this work consistently. And so it's been very difficult. There was times when I thought, I don't know if this was going to work at all, because there was no sort of, income.
Yeah.
I had obviously a little bit coming in from my other clients, but not enough new clients to sort of make it worthwhile. So it was struggling. It was hard. But I've been through hard times in my life before, and I'm resilient. So I don't let them define me. And I'm always very focused on being in the moment and actually doing and trusting the process. So even when it is challenging in life, I don't tend to fall apart or, oh no, the world's going to end. I'm very sort of like, what can I learn? How can I change? How can I grow from this sort of thing?
You're proactive.
That's generally who I am. But so the first part of the process, very difficult to, learn. Well, not so much learning, but implementing. Start doing things differently. That's probably the challenging part. And again, you don't see results straight away. So you've got to be consistent and doing it regular. And what I found anyway is the more you do that, the more confidence you build within yourself. To do this regular. It's now part of my life, doing this stuff. Like, I do like the 20 I do like religiously now. It's not, I don't even have to think about it. It's like getting up in the morning and that's it, bang. And so it's yeah, exactly like that. It's like, I've got to do 20 people and then respond to them and do this and do that. And so it's like it is a habit. And that's what I say to everybody, it's developing the skills, understanding what we need to do, and then making it a habit. Yeah. And eventually it starts to sort of show.
It's like a roller coaster, isn't it? You see it creeping, and then boom.
Yeah. And that's how it is. And so, yeah, and the good thing about this stuff is, like, you can't unlearn it. You can only get better at it. Yeah. So it's like, yes, you can take your foot off the gas and not do the work, but if you're consistent with it and you do the work, then it's just a matter of time really before things change. And it's just a case of being aware of that during those tough times.
No, I love that. And let's talk about the fun stuff, right? So I know that you've had a big month this month. And you very nearly hit a very significant financial milestone. I don't know if you're there yet or if you're nearly there. I know you're working on it. Tell me about that. Tell me about what this month has been like.
Well, I've signed 4 clients up in a month, new clients, all from my program. My program's for 4,000 at the moment for 6 months, and I'm actually hoping. Well, I'm going to put my prices up to 5,000 at the end of August. I've already said that in my email to try and get a few others pushed over the line. But I think this is the thing with the crossover between the work you do and what I do. The energy thing for me. When you're highly energized, you sort of attract people or situations. And if you're coming at things from a low energy, you're actually pushing people away. Yeah. And I think doing the work I do with your stuff and obviously keeping that in mind as well has attracted opportunities galore to me. And so I'm now finding more and more people, getting involved in what I'm talking about online. than ever before. I've signed my first ever LinkedIn client up from there. I was actually telling her the other day about this process, and she goes, have you actually benefited from it? I said, I wouldn't met you otherwise, would I? So yeah, I'm getting clients from different angles, though, all different angles. But I think the main key for me has been how I present the offer to them.
Yeah.
So when I get them on a call, that's my first thing, is to get them on a call. And then once I'm on there, I'm presenting to them in a way that I feel that obviously encouraging them to actually sign up.
I love that. I love it. It's like you say, it is exactly that. It is articulating the problems you solve and how you take them to that next level, like that next iteration of themselves, using the energy work that you do, which is amazing.
Plus also the objection handling has been a big game changer as well, because in the past, I think when people would say whatever they'd say for the reason they can't do it or whatever, I would get stumped. And I would just like, let's have a chat in a month or whatever. But now I've got the answers, so I can actually put them on the spot. And I think that's another thing that's changed the way I operate in terms of talking to people now.
And again, builds that confidence that you mentioned, because it's like, okay, I know this question's going to come up. This is how I answer it. And even like with the range of them that do come up, and it's just having that tool ready in your arsenal to be able to pour out what you need in that moment is really cool.
It can be a bit daunting at first, because I think when you're starting out and doing this stuff, you're basically reading it, you're learning it, but you're not really comfortable with it yet. But I think after you've done 2 or 3 calls with this, that's when it starts to become a bit more normal and natural. The first couple I did were terrible. I look back and think, I didn't say that, didn't see this.
Learning how to...
But if you look at the month as a whole, that's 16 grand's worth of business done, which is brilliant. And so I'm just hoping, or not hoping, I'm working on getting the 5th one through the door before my birthday, which is next week. And if that happens, then it'll be the 5, and that'll be 20. So that's what I'm doing.
Honestly, I'm so made up for you, because you are a grafter. You do the work. You do the work consistently. You do the work when it feels really, really rubbish, because you're putting in the effort and not seeing the results. You just keep going. And you are one of those people that's just come in and trusted. You said earlier, trusted the process and gone all in on it. And now you're reaping the rewards from that. And it seems to really align with the energy stuff that you work on as well. And it's just, that's compounding your results, because you said something else which is really powerful as well, which is that if you come at outreach or content or how you present yourself from a place of fear or desperation or low energy, like you say, it pushes people the opposite way. Rather than leaning in, they're leaning out like, whoa. So it's that's a really powerful thing that I just wanted to mention that you said earlier.
Very important.
Yeah, for sure. So how are things looking outside of business? I mean, now that you're starting to see the results and things, have anything changed? Sort of, have people noticed a difference in you over the last few months? Or
personally, I don't know. Actually, I haven't asked them, but I'm generally quite upbeat anyway. I'm quite a confident person in terms of who I am. But I suppose I feel more. How can I explain it? I suppose I'm less needy in terms of attention. I think in terms of, not that I was ever needy as such, but when you're sort of promoting yourself or putting yourself out there, when you feel that no one's really understanding what you do, it can be, frustrating, and you feel like, you think like you need to overcompensate a little bit. And I felt that frustration was probably showing through in other areas of my life.
Right.
So if I was in a conversation with someone, I would be a bit, wary of them, because I might think they're going to judge me or whatever it is. But now that I've done this and I'm showing this, and this is also coming through in my posts and my reels and other stuff that I put out, that confidence level is natural. And I think more people are seeing that. Well, I know they are.
Good.
Because I've had a couple of guys get in touch with me who have been sitting on the fence for 2 years. And they're saying, well, at first I thought it was a load of nonsense what you're doing, but now I've seen it, how you've changed, how it's coming through in you. That's made me want to get in touch. So it is definitely
something shifted.
Yeah, you can see that. And so I think that is obviously a part of this. I mean, because, had I not signed up with you, I wouldn't have that confidence. I wouldn't be now demonstrating that in my posts. And I certainly wouldn't be as authentic as I am in the post, because that's one thing Chris has made. I was always very direct anyway, but Chris said, just say it as it is and be open and be honest. And I am. And so I just don't care what anyone thinks or says about my stuff. So I'm not worried about judgment. So I just put it out there now, and it works because I'm getting people in my DMs now going, I love your posts. I think they're brilliant and all this sort of stuff. So obviously people like it.
Yeah, I love that. And it's just great to be able to play a small part in that like transition or that change. I mean, me just like look like a little part.
Like, yeah, big part, because you helped me with my master offer, didn't you? So
yeah,
you know, it was you who set me on the path with that. So yeah, definitely.
Oh, thank you. And that's really kind. But yeah, we've all, like the team, all of us have been through C2C ourselves. So it's kind of like we get to relive it a little bit through you guys, which is maybe that's just me. I don't know, but I remember my experience as a client, and it looks so good. I want that for everyone that comes through, and I'm seeing it in you. So it's amazing. Okay, so just a couple more questions. Actually, no. 2 more questions. You're right. I was right first time. So this is a Chris question. Let's pretend that somebody that you know, he's put best friends, but I'm watering it down a little bit. Somebody that you know is considering joining, and you had to persuade them, right? What would you say?
I've actually been trying to do this. I've got 2 people at the moment, and I've been showing them all the stuff that you've got to, offer. So what have I said to them? I've said they've said, has it helped me? And I said, well, look at what I'm doing now. I've now got, hopefully after today's call, after I have 9 clients, which is unbelievable. That's part, obviously it's a massive part of what you've taught me and how I implemented that. That wouldn't have happened if I'd not joined C2C. So that's a fact. So showing someone where I was and where I am now is the best way of showing someone that it's a no-brainer for them too. And so this is what I've been doing. Like I said, there's 2 different people who I've sort of signposted your way for one reason or another. They're probably looking. I don't know what they're doing at the moment, but yeah, I'll give you the names after. but no, that's the best way, is to just show them what I've been through myself. And just demonstrate the learning and the growth. You can't put it into one little snapshot because there's so much involved. You've got the community, you've got the course, obviously, which is just completely covers every angle. So there's pretty much everything that you need in there to be successful. It's just a case of implementing it and doing it. And I think that's where you guys come in, because you support people. Obviously, the community is there for people as well. So I think just giving people a well-rounded view of what's involved and showing people the changes that I've actually experienced through going through this process.
Oh, thank you. No, that's great. And if you're watching,
I'll send them this after.
Come on now.
I've already sent them Chris's links and stuff like that.
Don't overthink it. Okay, and final question. What do you think the next 6 months holds for you?
Good question, actually. Well, there's a couple of things I want to get done on the course, if I'm honest. But for in CCC, because systems and things like that, they're the things I want to sort out. But in the bigger scheme of things, I want to start scaling. Quite frankly, I want to put my business and my prices up. I want to start a workshop at some point, and I want to get my book written. I'm going to start my plan is when I get to the magic 10 and I can start, having a bit of a waiting list, then I'm going to get a VA, and then the VA is going to take care of I've already talked to a VA about this and take care of a lot of the legwork that I have to do. So it gives me more time to focus fully on the clients and also write my book. So that would be the next 6 months in terms of scaling. Yeah. And so, that's my plan.
Oh, I can't wait to read it.
I need to get me written first.
Fine. I know it's now on my book reading list. I love it.
And then I'll be doing tours. I'll be doing speaking tours around the book. So that's my next.
We'll get you on C2C Live as a speaker.
Oh, cool.
On the book tour. Love it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Oh, well, thank you ever so much, Mark. It's been an absolute pleasure supporting you and talking to you today. Keep up the hard work, and thank you for joining us, people who are watching live. And we'll talk soon.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
No, thank you.